to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It's Challenge the Scorpion, and it is a game that's been requested for a long time. Lawrence is here from Tabletop Tactics. He's brought his Dark Eldar down, and they will be facing off against the Eldar here. So a clash that we've been looking forward to, and we'll be fighting across this urban terrain here. It's an Imperial city. It's been abandoned for a long time. Hedges and scrub and jungle starting to grow. Bombed out craters here, tank traps, and then an ammunition dumps. There's been battles here in the past, but it's been long since abandoned, and it'll be across here that the Dark Eldar will do battle with the Eldar. Right, so welcome to this 1850 points game. Eldar here against Dark Eldar, so just going to run through the Eldar list. So leading the force, Prince Uriel himself, and then a fast attack choice, 5 shining spears, or I've painted them here as fire spears with an Exarch and Star Lance for them. 10 scorpions, they're in the flanking wave serpent with shuriken cannon, and then twin-linked scatter laser on top. 10 scorpions, Exarch in there with the claw for them as well. And coming across 5 fire dragons with the Exarch there and fire pike. They're inside a wave serpent, twin-linked shuriken cannon, and then a shuriken cannon underneath. Crimson Hunter Exarch, flyer there for the Eldar, and then 2 troops choices. It's a bound army, so 2 troops, Wind Riders, 2 units are free, no upgrades for them. Then the Wraith Knight is in with Sun Cannon and Scatter Shield. 2 Wraith Lords with Ghost Glaives and Bright Lances, and then Flamers for them as well. And then finally 5 Warp Spiders with Warp Spider Exarch and twin-linked Death Spinners. That's the force. 1850 points. They've got a tough task ahead of them here. You'll see what I mean when you see this Dark Eldar force that Lawrence has brought down.
Okay, so facing my Craftworld cousins today is 1850 points of Dark Eldar. New list, thought that this would be appropriate for this Clash of the Titans. I've got Israel Jaraka, my Dark Eldar Archon. He's got, instead of a Huskblade, I've got an Agonizer. Which it probably isn't that good against Eldar, but I'm permanently switching to the Agonizer. I'm over the Huskblade. So I've got an Agonizer, I've got Armor of Misery, I've also got a Shadow Field, and I've got Haywire Grenades, and now on the back I have a Blaster as well, which is appropriate just in case he keeps that around, just in case he has a close encounter. So that's his Blaster there, so that's him. And then I've got dedicated Venom Transport with dual Splinter Cannons. Then in the troops section I've got 6 units of 5 warriors here. You can see they've got Cyberite upgrades. That's a sergeant in layman's terms. They've also got a blaster as well. The Cyberite does have a Haywire grenade upgrade, and all of them have dedicated Venom transports with dual splinter cannons. Then in heavy support I have not 1, not 2, but 3 Dark Eldar Ravagers with triple Dark Lance. I do not have Night Shields in this list. I would like them, I just couldn't afford them, so there you go. And then finally in fast attack I've got 3 units of 6 Reaver jet bikes. They do not have the Arena Champion upgrade, although I do have one modelled, but they do have 2 cluster caltrops and 2 blasters in the units as well. So that comes to 1848 points.
So that's the list for Lawrence here, 1850 points of Dark Eldar. Be fascinating to see how these 2 armies take each other on. And multiple units to try and deal with. Small units, but a lot of potential with them. So it's a bit of a prickly army for the Eldar to deal with here. Kill 1 unit and there'll be more to take its place. So we'll go on to the scenario now and deployment for both of these 2 forces. Right, so brought up for scenario here. It's going to be an interesting one. It's the Emperor's Will and Hammer and Anvil deployment. Dark Eldar will be deploying at this end of the table, so we're fighting lengthways up the table here. 1 objective to be protected, and it's this canister just lying at the foot of the ruin here. And then coming around the other side, the Eldar will be deploying at this end of the table, looking out in this direction, and then the canister is just there in the crater inside the ruin. So the fight will be over these two objectives. Really, the game is going to hinge on those two objectives there. It's very, very important that either side holds theirs and captures the other. So we'll see what happens. Going to go on to deployment now for both sides. Right, so deployment is done, and it's two extremes here of deployment. The Dark Eldar, the entire army has been placed on the table. So Reavers here, anchoring the left-hand side. Right, so two Venoms here at the back, just anchoring the objective. And then 3 more at the front, they're being supported by the 2 Ravagers just behind. And then coming around the other side here, another unit of 2 units of Reavers here behind this ruin, and then 2 more Venoms just behind them. And then in a contrast here, the Eldar have deployed defensively and trying to hide away as much as possible. There's a tremendous amount of firepower that's going to come down in our direction. So Uriel has joined the dragons. They're inside the Wave Serpent here, and then the 2 Wraith Lords just hiding, as James has said, but they're just being wise and staying out of the line of sight as much as possible. It's going to be extremely difficult to do that, though, as the Dark Eldar begin to move out. But that is the deployment for both sides. So then in reserve, there's no reserves for the Dark Eldar. Just going to ask where the commander is. Which Venom?
So my commander is in this command Venom here. It's got slightly different roles.
Okay, right, just near the objective. And then coming across here, the Eldar, quite a lot of reserve, well, more than half the army in reserve here, flanking with the Fire Spears and the Scorpions inside their transport. 2 units of jet bikes coming on for reserve, Crimson Hunter, and then the Wraith Knight as well, and then deep striking with the Warp Spiders. The shape of this game really could change quickly. It'll be fascinating to see what happens. So we're going to go on to the first turn of the game coming up now. Right, okay, so we're going to go on to the first turn. Lawrence wants to go first. We're going to try and seize initiative here.
Go on.
Oh, a 1. No, so we're going to go on to Dark Eldar turn 1. We'll see what they do on this first turn here. There's no night fighting. It is the middle of the day as these 2 forces begin their manoeuvres. Right, so Lawrence moving here. It's all about angles at the moment, trying to get the angles towards the Eldar here. There are places to hide, but it's very, very tight. And just the sheer amount of units on the table. I think Lawrence is going to find his target here with some of these units. It's an aggressive setup, and it looks like he's moving aggressively as well towards that Eldar objective. It's going to be a real fight to try and hold on to it. But the Eldar have their own cards to play as well, so we'll see what happens. Right, so movement done for the Dark Eldar here. The Venom at the back, that's the Archon inside there.
right.
Here, holding the objective. Okay, the rest has shifted ahead here. Lawrence trying to get views down to the Eldar at the top of the table there. 2 Venoms shifting round at 12 inches to their left. Reavers leaving the cover, Skilled Riders moving off in this direction. And then the 2 Ravagers shifting round as well. 1 Venom just at the back here. And then coming around the other side, the Assault is going ahead as well. 1 Ravager going up the centre of the road. 1 Venom in front. 2 Reaver units pushing up, and 2 Venoms on this extreme right hand flank as well. So this half of the table is saturated with Dark Eldar units, and they're moving off towards the Eldar, cowering at this end of the table. So we're going to go on to shooting phase next. Lawrence has some shooting that he can do. We'll get that resolved and see what damage can be done. Right, so shooting phase done here. 1 ray floor brought down. That was poisoned fire from the Venom here. Just 1 round of shooting. Failed 3 saves. And it's first blood to Lawrence. That's 1 point already. And then 1 whole point here. Knocked up on the Wave Serpent. That was fire from the Ravagers just up there. Then Lawrence manoeuvring around here. Going flat out turbo boosting here with the jet bikes. 1 unit moving on to this ruin. Didn't need to fire these, so these have gone flat out here, moved up further around the Dark Eldar left flank. And then the Reavers pushing up onto the ruins here as well. The net is tightening here, or the noose is getting tighter around the neck of this Eldar force. There's not much of them on the table. There's a danger here. If the Eldar are wiped out, the game will be lost in the early stages of the game, and Lawrence does have another whole turn of shooting and manoeuvring to do. So a difficult one here. Not quite what we were expecting. Eldar under intense pressure here. I think we can agree on that point. And Uriel is in there, inside that transport with the dragons at the moment. Can he survive? We're going to go on to the Eldar first turn. What can they do? Just 1 Wraith Lord and 1 Wave Serpent Fire Dragons. No reserves allowed to come on yet. It's a difficult one for the Eldar. The aim of the game at the moment is survival. We'll see what happens. Turn 1 coming up for the Eldar next. For the Eldar here, the tough decisions to make. The conundrum that we have is if we're wiped out next turn, the game will be lost. So it's all about survival here. There's 1 Wave Serpent with a hull point, 1 Wraith Lord, and then Uriel on the dragons inside. So difficult one here for the Eldar, but we've shifted in. We haven't actually rolled our dangerous terrain check yet. Do not get a 1. A simple request. A 6, right. Alright, that's good. Good manoeuvring there from the pilot in these desperate times. But we're going to sit there, just near the objective, and survive. So we're going to try and use cover to protect us. Yes, that's the movement done for the Eldar as the Dark Eldar close in on this position here. So we're going to go on to shooting phase next for the Eldar on turn 1. Okay, shooting done for the Eldar here. I think we're in agreement about the tensest turn 1 on channel history so far. So that's what we wanted here. We knew it'd be a tense game, but it's right from the offset here. Wave Serpent deactivating the Serpent Shield and letting rip with firepower here, we're realising that we're probably not going to survive, and has brought down one of the Venoms. It wasn't the Serpent Shield that did it in the end, it was Twin Link to Shuriken Cannon fire. But Venom destroyed, the 2 hull points knocked down, and then Lawrence passing his pinning test, and the Carbonite Warriors have disembarked. So that is the end of the shooting phase. The Wraithflord firing up here, 1 pot shot there, no damage done on the Reavers. So turn 1 is over. It's taken a long time actually to get through this. A lot of thinking going on, a lot of angles and lines being drawn up by both sides as the Eldar try and survive and the Dark Eldar try and assassinate the small Eldar contingent in the corner. But that's turn 1 finished. We're going to go on to the second turn, a vital turn coming up next for both sides. Right, so movement done here on turn 2. The tenseness continues. The objective being held here by the Archon inside his Venom. And then Lawrence just shifting back here with 1 Venom and 1 Ravager. Couldn't quite draw a line of sight with them, so he's pulled them back just to protect the objective at the back here. The rest of the force is closing in on the Eldar here. Very, very, very close. The Reavers surrounding the building. Here, just in front. And then a unit here as well. The Dark Eldar on microphones asking Uriel to come out with his hands up. It's like a western here. Uriel and his posse surrounded in the building, and the law enforcers are out. The Ravager here closing in, just getting angles here to bring down the Wraithflord and the Wave Serpent. Venom here as well with the squad on foot, and then 2 Venoms here looking to take out. There's one at the window there as well, moved up very close. So Wraithflord and Locktroll, we thought it was hidden, but the angles have been found here, and then 1 Ravager pushing up in support as well. So the question we have is, can any of this stuff here survive? The Eldar just need 1 model to survive, and then the reinforcements can arrive. Prince Uriel is in jeopardy. We'll see what happens now as Lawrence opens up with his weaponry this turn. Right, we're going to do this on camera here. Here we go. So,
okay, so we're kicking off with 3 Dark Lances through this Gothic door here into the hull of the damaged Wave Serpent.
Right, he's got his 3 hits there. Normal cover saves. Do you want to roll them first?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to try and do 3 cover saves. We're going to need these.
Oh, he's got 2.
For 2. So 1 coming through here. A 1. Okay, we've survived the first one. Next. Right, next Ravager here. 3 shots he'll get. We're going to get an extreme cover save here of 3+, so Lawrence needs freeze to hit. Okay, 2 hits. And then we'll let him roll for arm penetration here. 1. So we need to make a 3+ cover save. A 2, no. The Serpent Shield is down, so it's a straight roll with a +1 for AP 2.
6. Oh no.
A 2, but it's a hull point knocked down, that's the vital thing. So 1 more hull point left on that Wave Serpent. Right, jet bikes now, firing 2 blasters. Yes, freeze to hit.
Serpent. 1.
Okay, 1 hit. 4 up cover save now with this one. Got to pass this one just about on a 4. Alright, next. We'll do this Venom next. He's going to try and take out the Wraithflord. So a ton of shots here with the double splinter cannon. Okay, this firepower's pretty horrendous. And then 4s to wound. 4. Now, we'll take some wounds, I reckon. We don't want to die. Oh, just the 1 wound. Not too bad. We'll take that, but 1 wound knocked down. Second Venom coming through. We want to. This is difficult. 1 wound knocked up. We're just marking it there. So Lawrence is going to let off the next salvo. That's decent enough. Then 4s. 4. Another. Pass all of these, and we can get a little bit optimistic. Past all of them except 1, so another wound knocked up, but it's still alive. Right, it's the last Venom to get the last wound on the Wraithflord. Here we go.
Ooh, only 2.
2. I think we might justify rolling 1 at a time. 3+. Oh, no. It took 3 Venoms to do it, but the Wraithlord is down. That's mission accomplished, and there's still some firepower to come through, but he's fired a fair amount of stuff so far, so we're semi-optimistic we could survive this. We'll keep going, but the Wraithlord is dead. Right, next then, you've got blasters that can fire individual shots coming from the crew inside the Venoms. Forgot about them, so first one, the one at the window will shoot.
Okay, this one,
Needing
blaster.
3+.
Hit.
Gets his hit.
Pen.
Penetrating hit. 4+ cover save. No.
Oh, it's a red.
So it is down. If it's at AP,
AP2.
so 6+, it will blow up.
Oh!
No, no. Oh boy, we have an explosion here. Rocks the battlefield as the Wave Serpent detonates here. 6 guys to wound, 3+.
4.
4 of them. So saves here. It's 3+. And we may have a cocked dice here. And we do, so we're going to get a reroll. They all survive, thankfully. They'll have to disembark. The Wave Serpent is brought down now. We're going right to the wire here in this round of shooting. So the next bit of shooting here, the Wave Serpent's gone. The Fire Dragon's protecting Uriel here in the corner of the building. You imagine the shooting, the holes being blasted in the wall and explosions going off. They've been zeroed in here. The Reavers are firing through the gap. Lawrence is going to fire them next, try and poison some of the Fire Dragons. Blasters first. 2 of them.
1.
Okay.
2s. 1 wound.
Okay. Going to do a before we resolve this, we might have gone to ground here for the pinning checks. We'll roll that up 11. We are pinned. They've crawled out of the burning wreck here on their hands and knees, dazed and confused, and they are pinned down. We'll get a +1 cover save, but they are out of action and trying to survive. Right, so a cover save here, a 3+, a 2. So 1 Fire Dragon brought down. Right, so just looking around here, there's a couple of units that haven't shot yet, but they can't see. This unit of warriors here, and then these guys can't see through the closed doors there. So that is actually the shooting phase finished. We've survived the round of shooting. But there's potential here for assaults, which is the dangerous thing. The Reavers could close in. They're armed with cluster caltrops, so Uriel is not safe yet. I repeat, not safe yet. So just a little bit of manoeuvring going on here, pulling back with the Ravager just here as well, but that is it. So we're going to go on to the assault phase, and the crucial question that we have is, will the Reavers make contact with Uriel and the Fire Dragons? Right, so we've done charges here. We've got 2 hits on Overwatch, but Lawrence passed 2 cover saves. 1 unit of Reavers has made it in. These guys tried to charge but failed. They're allowed to charge the passengers from the disembarked transport there. So 1 unit of Reavers has made it into contact. Uriel's got to defend himself here. This is desperate stuff as we go into the assault phase coming up for the Dark Eldar on turn 2. Okay, we're just working it out here. Hammer of Wrath attack. 1 model with cluster caltrops is in base contact. He'll get his D6 attacks, and then 1 other regular Hammer of Wrath will resolve that now. It's initiative 10 with Lawrence ignoring the effects for cover. So he'll go first there, and then initiative 7 he is. Uriel will be able to fight simultaneously. But we'll try and survive this. Cluster caltrop.
Okay, cluster caltrop. Here we go.
So cocked dice here. 5, decent roll, decent roll. Alright, so we'll resolve that now. 5 dice. Strength 6 and rending. He's got a rend, so that's a kill. And 3 other wounds. Okay, 3 saves here. 3+, 1 more brought down, so 2. Dragons dead as they protect their beloved leader. And then 1 more Hammer of Wrath to resolve at strength 3, strength 4.
1.
No wound, okay. Right, so I'm forced to hit here. We're hoping for a below average round. There's a lot of dice.
Okay, I move the misses.
He's getting hits here. A lot of 4s there. It's decent enough. And then he'll be on strength 4, is it? Strength 3?
No, actually just strength 3 now.
Yeah, 4s to wound. 3s, 4s to wound. Yes.
Check it when Furious charge because the power impact. No, I'm not. Feel no pain 6 up. Right, 4 to wound. Ouch.
Yeah, that is an ouch. It's very, very good dice rolling here. We've got a lot of saves to make. Right, 7 saves to make here. Now, you can't hardly see them, but in there is 1 Fire Dragon, 1 Exarch, and then Prince Uriel. So we're going to roll these up one at a time. We're going to try and get through the last dragon here. I'll sell his life dearly. He absorbs 1. He absorbs 2. He absorbs 3. He dies. Now the Exarch, 2 wounds to get through. He survives. He survives. And he survives. Oh, dear, I can breathe again. Right, okay, bizarre game this one. We've weighed up the options. This is feeling like turn 7 here already. So what we've decided to do, the Exarch is alive in there. Uriel's alive. We don't think our spear attacks are going to be enough, so we're going to activate the Bull Eye in desperation. Now the Exarch's probably going to die, but we've got to try and kill these jet bikes here and win the combat, or draw it at least. With the blast marker, I reckon it's going to touch all of the models there and clip the venom. So maybe we'll roll first for the Exarch. We get a 1, then cheers will erupt from no one, because there's no Eldar around. Uriel will be happy. Dear, get a 1, a 5. Right, so Exarch is dead. Instant death at strength 6. So now, if I roll 6 1s, we'll pack up the game and end early.
Yes.
A wipeout. Okay, that's just guaranteed that we've survived there with Prince Uriel. Bizarre stuff. We'll just roll here for the venom. Strength 6, nothing. All right. So as the Dark Eldar close in and 1 unit goes inside the building, electric bolts erupt all over and screams go on there as just Prince Uriel activates his electrical attack. It saved his life. He's killed his last remaining friend, but he has survived. That was the crucial thing. We'll remove those models now. That electrical storm marks the end of turn 2 for the Darker. It's been epic already. That's what Lawrence wanted, and that is what he has got. So we're going to go on to the second turn now for the Eldar. Uriel's alive. You can call upon his reserves, and boy, does he need them. Right, turn 2. It's like a new game here almost. The game's really shifted around. Eldar forces have started arriving here, and a lot of calculating going on here, bringing on the Eldar reserve. So Wraith Knight has turned up. That Uriel Path of Command +1 on reserves rolls coming in handy a number of times. Wraith Knight is on here at the flank. Jet bikes have moved on 12. And then we're just discussing here in the rules. Uriel can then move to within coherency, and he's now joined that unit there. So another bodyguard unit has turned up. It's desperate stuff. He's climbed out through the window and has joined the jet bikes there as they try and save the army commander. Don't want to concede that point and give away another victory point here. Crimson Hunter has turned up, has headed off in this direction as the Eldar launch their own assault on the Dark Eldar position. Wouldn't even be surprised if the objectives change hands in this game. The Fire Spears have turned up flanking. and are in an ambush position here. Warp Spiders wanted them to land there. They've turned up. And then on this flank, the Scorpions have arrived and have disembarked outside of their transport. So the game's back on. Eldar at disadvantage. They have lost units, but can they recover here on turn 2? It's still early stages of the game. I'm going to go into shooting phase now for the Eldar on turn 2. Right, so we'll kick off the shooting here. Wave Serpent's going to fire. We're going to deactivate the Serpent Shield. We're going to let rip into that Venom there. Going to try and bring it down. Lawrence can jink this one. It's the Scatter Laser firing. Getting 3 hits, twin linked. Yeah. 4 hits, and then 6s, 4s or more, 1 glance and 2 pens. Lawrence is going to get a 4 up save.
Glance. I failed to jink. 2 pens. I fail.
Fail on 1. Open top, we get a 6 here. No, okay. Alright, so vehicle destroyed there, and then sneakily he's disembarked here behind the wall with the Archon. He will be allowed to assault next turn with the open top vehicle. But mission accomplished there for the Wave Serpent with the Venom brought down. Right, we've just done a battle focus move here. Complete block of line of sight here with that solid wall. But we've shifted around 5 inches and we've agreed that 6 Scorpions can now see with their pistols. If we can bring that shield down that he has, then we stand a good chance. So we'll roll up some shooting now. 6 shots. The Exarch is at the back here, so he can't shoot. So 2s for hits with our aspect host formation. They've all hit. 3s for wounds. And they've almost all wounded. So 5 saves, just a single one. And the Eldar stand a chance.
I have to do these one at a time.
He's going to do one at a time.
I have to.
Fair enough.
So save. 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 Save.
Oh, I failed it on the last one. You couldn't script this. Epicness at either end of the table. Right, next one. Decisions here. Crimson Hunter's going to fire down at the Venom just in the building. Lawrence is going to jink. So we're at 2s to hit here. And we've got 1 miss. Right, so 3 hits here. Armor 10, strength 8. So 1 glance and 2 pens for Lawrence to survive here.
The glancing hit failed, and the pen both passed.
Very good. Very good. It survives 1 whole point down. Okay, so it's 2 good cover saves rolled there. The Venom survives on 1 whole point. So we'll go on to the next round of shooting. Fire Spears here, firing at the rear of the Ravager. Right, so Lawrence is going to jink here. And we need 3s to hit with the regular weaponry. This laser lances, strength 6, 4s or more. Oh. Terrible. Just the Exarch left on a 2 to hit just about. And then strength 8 this one. Penetrates. So we're going to require a jink save. Scott, I reckon he's going to make this. His dice rolling is epic. Yes, it is. Survives. Very good. Right, so Warp Spiders, we've done a run move here with them, 2 inches. They're now going to fire at the Ravager. We've got to try and bring it down. Lawrence has elected not to jink. He's going to take a 5+ cover save for the foliage. He's armor 11 as well, so he's a bit better protected. The grey dice is the twin-linked Exarch. We're on 2s to hit with the aspect formation.
Nice roll.
They've all hit here. 5s or 6s, you want to saturate them with a load of 5s or 6s here. But a bad roll, there could be trouble. That's not bad. It isn't bad. The Exarch's got 2 penetrating hits and another penetrating hit and then 1 glance coming through as well.
These are for the penetrating hits. And it goes through.
It's gone through. Okay, mission accomplished there. Ravager brought down by the Warp Spiders. It's tenseness. Both. It's a bizarre game. It's been a real change of hands with the objective here. The Eldar losing their objective. The Dark Eldar, theirs is in jeopardy here as well, at either end of the table. It's nice to see a spread across the table as well. The fighting erupting in every sector of the battlefield. Right, so the rest of the shooting, I've just resolved it. Uriel threw a plasma grenade, took out a number of the warriors, and then the rest were brought down by the twin-link shuriken catapult firepower from the jet bikes just there. And then firing here with the Wraith Knight. Difficult targets to choose. 1 Reaver brought down, and then 1 glancing hit on the Ravager. So that is shooting done. The Eldar have made their move here, and have done pretty well here. Venom destroyed here. Ravager destroyed here from the warp spiders. They've then made their jetpack move into the building. And then just here the Venom jinking and on one hull point. So both objectives now under siege at the moment. It'll be fascinating to see how the Dark Eldar respond to the Eldar attack. So we're going to go on to the third turn for the Dark Eldar. So moving for the Dark Eldar on turn 3. Another important turn here. The Archon has moved across and joined the disembarking unit, but Lawrence has moved here with the Venom disembarked unit, and then they've been joined by the Archon. So he's now got a bodyguard to protect him in this fight for the objective at this end of the table. Then movement here, the Ravager was here, it's pulled back here, remember it's on snapshots, but he's got a target there at the Crimson Hunter. Reavers moving across, thought they would, they may be able to reach the jet bikes here, they'll be able to fire as well. And then the two Venoms closing in, a lot of shots that they can let off this turn. Another Venom down here, it can offload its firepower through the windows onto the jet bikes there. Reavers closing in on Prince Uriel again. A second unit is hunting him down, and then coming across a Venom has shifted across with a view across the table over towards the objective and the warp spiders. Other Ravager just moving up and getting ready to fire at the Crimson Hunter as well, putting pressure on that Eldar flyer. So that's the movement done for the Dark Eldar. Multiple units to deal with, and the battle is spread out across different areas of the table. We've got a fight on here, and then sort of an exchange of firepower developing here, and then a fight for the objective as well. So the game's really livened up. We'll go on to shooting phase now for the Dark Eldar on turn 3. Right, so shooting phase here. Venom firing through on snap fire. A couple of shots coming through from the squad. One of the Scorpions brought down. Then coming across here, a ton of firepower coming through. Ravager here firing 2 Venoms, and the Reavers 4 of the Shining Spears or Fire Spears killed, and then a wound on the Exarch. But he lives there. They've had to jink to survive, but he has lived. And then the Ravager firing, it was on snap fire. We jinked 1 hull point dealt out on the Crimson Hunter. And then coming around here, Venom firepower coming through from here, and then supporting fire coming in from the crew on the other Venom. And then the jet bikes firing their blasters. 2 wounds on Uriel. The blast hit's been absorbed by jet bikes, and 2 of them have been destroyed, so we may well have an assault going ahead here. It's almost guaranteed that Lawrence will get in. There's one other bit of shooting, and that was the Venom tried to fire at the warp spiders, but they flicker jumped through the windows here and are up against the wall out of line of sight. Bit of a sly move from them, but that's the shooting phase done. We're going to go on to assaults now. There's a couple of assaults that can go ahead. We'll see what the Dark Eldar can do. Right, so charges here. Juraka's going to charge in against the Scorpions. It's a showdown here. It's what we wanted on the channel, and it's going to take on the game. It's going to take place. 6 is for snap shooting. You've got 3. 3's for wounds, and you get 2.
Oh, look out, Serbies.
Okay.
Pass 1.
Okay.
Save on Jireka. Failed. Save on another guy. Passed.
Right, so what we've done here is a failed armor save, but then Lawrence has rolled a Feel No Pain, which is passed, so Jireka's okay. And now the guy behind
Feel no pain.
one Feel No Pain.
No.
So one of the Carbonite Warriors brought down. Right, next charge coming up. The bikes are going to try and charge the Fire Spear here. It's quite a distance, but there is a chance he can do it. He's not going to pay any penalty for cover. So we'll just let Lawrence roll up here. A 7 will not be enough. He's going to need a bit higher than that. So that lone Exarch is safe for now. Right, so the jet bike's charging in here. Try and protect him with the Eldar jet bike. Twin linked for those. Nothing. And then Lawrence will easily make it into combat. So Uriel is in trouble once again. Yeah, 6 inches easily in. Right, so we'll do this assault here. Uriel's life hangs by a thread. He's on 2 wounds. Hammer of Wrath first, initiative 10.
Cool.
2d6.
2d6.
Plus.
Shot, so 6 hits.
Okay. 6 dice then, and he will. Rends will be handy. 2s for wounds.
Oh, we've got a rend.
Yes.
All wounded.
Oh dear, and Uriel's on his last wound. Right. So we think Uriel's dead. 1 rend here, so 4+ invulnerable save. He passes that. Right, we're going to have to look out Sir these. So the first one, look out Sir onto the jet bike. It does look out Sir. 3+ save. It dies. So just down to Uriel. 4 saves of 3+, or he's gone. He shouldn't pass these.
He's gone.
He's gone. He is dead. Uriel is dead. Right, so that's that combat resolve. Uriel is dead, and then Lawrence just consolidating there on the Eldar objective almost. If not, he is within 3 inches, virtually there. So the Eldar have been cleared off, except for the Wraith Knight in the corner. And then coming around in the opposite corner of the table, Scorpions are taking on Jireka and his squad. So circumstances here. Armour of Misery, we've had to take a fear test. We passed on a 7, so we're almost reduced to Quivering Rex here by this strange Archon moving in. He's then issued a challenge, very bold here, the Scorpion Exarch, turning his head to the side and slinking to the back of the line, has pulled out of the challenge. He, in his calculation, he's not up for it. He's armed with an Agonizer there, a host of attacks, so he'll let his Scorpion brethren take the hits. So no challenge going ahead. Draco will fight regular striking Scorpions. Right, so Mandiblaster hits now, initiative 10, 8 of them, 4s to wound. Yeah, Lawrence has got to make 4 saves here, regular saves of 5+. Yeah, Mandiblasters may well come in handy.
Past 3.
Past 3.
Feel no pain.
And I feel no pain.
Which I've had.
Okay, some very good rolling there. Just one of the Carbonite Warriors brought down. Right, next up's Draka then. With his attacks, I reckon 6 on the charge. That freeze.
I paid for a blaster, so I've lost my pistol.
Oh, I see. Okay, 5 attacks then. Still got 4 hits though. And he'll be on 4s for wounds. 4s for kills actually. 2.
2 dead.
Now that's interesting. I estimated it would be 2. That's why we didn't do the challenge, because the Autarch would be, the Exarch would have been dead. So a bit of wisdom there on his behalf. He doesn't want to end up like Uriel. So 2 Scorpions brought down. Right, so now that we're on simultaneous, the Carbonite Warriors fighting, and then the striking Scorpions here. We'll do these first, needing 4s. Okay, bang on average actually. Freeze to wound with a Scorpion Chainsword, just 2. 2 saves of 5++, feel no pain. It's possibly failed 2, but it's going to get feel no pain. There's another cocked dice, yeah. It's failed 1, failed 2. 6 attacks, it was simultaneous, you'll still get the fight here. They'll be on 4s.
4 hits.
Okay, good rolling. 4s to wound. I hope our 3+ armour helps us out.
1 wound.
1 wound. 3+. Yes. So, just resolving here, the Scorpions win by 1, just about. Easily past Mouse. We've got a continuing melee. The Scorpions hacking away there at the bodyguard, trying to get to Jireka, whilst the Scorpion Exarch just cowers at the back, keeping himself alive. So combat continues here in the corner in the fight for the objective. That marks the end of turn 3. We're going to go straight into turn 3 for the Eldar a little bit thin on the ground, but still there's a presence of them on the table. So are we going to say at this stage, going to call it difficult? Right, so moving for the Eldar on turn 3. The Crimson Hunter's turn, they're going to off table to come on again another turn. Melee continues here. The Wave Serpent shifting over just within range with the Scatter Laser there, ready to fire at the Ravager potentially. Warp Spiders walking along. They've moved 6 through the difficult terrain there, ready to fire at the Venom. And then the Lone Exarch for the Shining Spears or Fire Spears has moved out here. Multiple targets to try and charge potentially. I'm not sure at this stage who to go after. Still strong Dark Eldar presence at this part of the table. Highly manoeuvrable, a lot of firepower that can come from them. The Wraith Knight moving in, closing in on the Reaver jet bikes just there, and then Eldar jet bikes arriving to bring some fire support. That's it for movement for the Eldar. We go on to shooting phase next for them on turn 3. Right, shooting done for the Eldar. Firing here with the Wave Serpent. Just the Twin Link Scatter Laser could fire. Bit of foliage save there, so Lawrence didn't jink, and we got a penetrating hit and a glance, and a result of 2. So snap fire only from this turn, or next turn. And then the jet bike here, the Fire Spear, snap firing and missing. And then the Warp Spiders as well actually fired. They were here and destroyed the Venom, and then have slinked. They've battle focused 4 inches back into the ruin again. Just coming around here now. The only shooting didn't fire with the Wraith Knight, and then the jet bikes firing. 2 wounds dealt out on the Reavers, but Lawrence jinking and passing both of those cover saves. So we're going to go on to assaults now. Turn 4 for the Eldar. The Wraith Knight is about to plunge in to combat. Right, so on to assaults here. The melee continues here. The vital combat taking place between Draka and the Scorpions. Then down here, we've failed to reach combat with the Exarch, so he is doomed, officially doomed. And then around here, the Wraith Knight has made it into combat. So we'll get these combats resolved here. 2 important ones for both sides. Right, so combat resolved here. We destroyed 4 of the 5 jet bikes, and Lawrence has fallen back here, escaping with the last remaining one there. And the Wraith Lord has consolidated 4 inches just behind the ruin here. It's very difficult to hide something as big as that. Come around the other side. We will resolve this combat here between Draka and the Scorpions. Right, so we're talking about challenges here. I think we're going to issue a challenge with the Scorpion Exarch now.
The insult. Draka accepts.
He accepts. All right. So now the fight can start between these 2. Right. So we've accepted the challenge. We've got to try and survive here. We've calculated it. Lawrence is just on 4 attacks, so there is a chance that the wounds won't go through. But we'll see. It's all down to his dice rolling, which has a reputation for cheese. So we'll see what happens.
So Spider and the Scorpion, folks. Here we go. 2 hits.
2 hits.
In style.
2 wounds, and he's killed the Exarch. 4 and a 3. The Exarch survives. Draka draws blood first. He's done that. Now the Scorpion Exarch can fight back. Just been reminded here, Armour of Misery. Again, a fair check. No, we've failed this time. So what does that mean?
Well, what it means is your weapon skill's 1 now, so you will be hitting me on
5s. Very good. Very good. The Scorpions are miserable. And they foul. God, there are twists and turns in this game. Right, okay. So then initiative 5 simultaneous with the Warriors and the Striker Scorpions. So one attack the Warrior. He's got his hit.
Got a wound.
He's got a wound. If he gets a kill here, it's just about right. 12 attacks with striking Scorpions. Right, so we're on 5s now because of that foul morale. Unbelievable stuff. 5s. Just 3. 3s to wound. Unbelievable. The gasp. Foul to wound. So we have lost the combat. Leadership 9 drops to leadership 8.
And it's -2 as well because of Armour of Misery. Permanent.
Oh, man. So leadership 7, 6. Leadership 6. Gonna need an epic roll here. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Cloak.
Oh, 6 exactly. You can't script this stuff. The fight continues here. Scorpions depressed at this stage and not finding their mark, and Draka drawing blood from the striking Scorpion Exarch, blood dripping to the floor. Draka licks his blade. He has the taste for Scorpion blood. He'll continue the fight. So melee resolve there. We'll end the turn there for the Eldar. So we're going to go on to Dark Eldar turn 4 coming up. Now another critical turn coming up as these two forces fight it out here in this sector. The early turns in games are usually pretty quiet, a lot of manoeuvring, but it's been tense straight away, which is what we wanted. We wanted this kind of epic tenseness, and we've certainly got it here. So Dark Eldar turn 4 coming up next. Right, so movement for the Dark Eldar on turn 4. Ravager moving around and heading off. So Lawrence has had to divert a force now to turn around and go after his own objective. He has the numbers to do it. One Ravager moving ahead, joined by a second, and then 2 Venoms, both of their squads still inside. Yes, moving up as well to lay down firepower in that direction. So a strange game where the assault has come in, and then assaults now happening at either end of the table. Fast manoeuvring really from both armies, and then the jet bikes here closing in on the lone Exarch, who no doubt will meet a grizzly. And Venom sneaking around to this side to lay down poison fire in this direction. Another Venom can lay down some firepower as well, and the lone jet bikers continue to fall back just a few inches. So we will now go on to the shooting phase for the Dark Eldar, see what kind of damage they can do as they try and do more damage to this Eldar force. Right, so shooting phase for the Dark Eldar here. Ravager fire coming through, destroyed the Wave Serpent. Excellent result there for the Dark Eldar, so less Eldar presence now at this end of the table. Yeah, flat out with these two, so the distance being covered very well. Very, very quick army, this one. If it's at one end of the table, it can get to the other end pretty quick. So speed is an excellent virtue to have, and this Dark Eldar force has it. Firing here, the Exarch survived, so it'll have to be charged in combat. Quite defiant here, the Eldar, you know, they're dying. And then around here, no damage done on the Wraith Knight, but the jet bikes were destroyed by poisoned weaponry from the Venoms. So that's shooting done. Going to go on to assaults. There is just the one in the corner and potentially this one here as well. Okay, so do this combat here. Another fear test to do. Oh, they're feared. I don't like it. Do not like it. So we're at weapon skill 5. Weapon skill 5. We're at weapon skill 2. Okay, just talking about challenges. I was going to back out, but you can't. The challenge is ongoing. So Draka can do his stuff here. The Scorpion Exarch is afraid and bleeding.
3 hits.
He gets his 3 hits. 1 4+.
He's dead.
And he is dead.
And 2 wounds total.
Okay.
Not reroll 1. 3 wounds.
3 wounds total. Draka's just slit the throats of the Exarch and 2 Scorpions. Right, so the Exarch is down, and if I didn't mention it, I'm sure I mentioned it earlier on, we are changing the channel name to Fire Dragon 82. I don't know if that was already mentioned. Oh no, the Fire Dragon's already dead. We could change it to Wraith Knight 82. Just running out of options here for the Eldar. So simultaneous then, 4 striking Scorpions. How we would love to avenge the death of our Exarch. We'll see what happens. Right, the Carbonite Warrior's been, we've let him go initiative 5. He's failed. So 8 attacks here with Scorpions. 5s to hit. Oh dear, this is a shocker. 3s to wound, yes.
Save. Yes.
Passes the save. So Armour of Misery -2, and we lost by 3. So we're going to need an epic roll here. We could look at an overrun. It's depressing stuff. So he's going to try and chase us down. And no doubt... Oh, a 1. He's rolled a 1 here. We've rolled a 6. So we do escape. And we escape 5 inches. They're alive, but not in good shape. The Scorpions fall back terrified of Draka in his Armour of Misery. Right, so Lawrence is consolidated there. There's now multiple Dark Eldar units around, so it's looking grim for the Eldar now, to be honest. Coming across the Exarch for the Shining Spears, or the Fire Spears, is dead as well in combat. So not much Eldar left on the table. Just looking actually, 1 Crimson Hunter still to come on, 4 Scorpions, and 3 Warp Spiders, and 1 Wraith Knight left. That is it. So we're going to go on to the 4th turn for the Eldar. We'll see what they can do. Desperate stuff at the moment. We'll go on to their turn 4 next. Right, moving for the Eldar on turn 4. Difficult turn for them. They know that their numbers are low here. Wraith Knight jumping across 12 to try and close down on this Venom here. Really have been a thorn in the flesh of the Venoms. Very good shooting from them. Flying on here with the Crimson Hunter, going to try and lend a bit of fire support this turn. And then coming across, the Scorpions have rallied and just surrounding Jiraka there. They're still up for the fight. And then the Warp Spiders have gone upstairs. So we're going to go on to shooting now for the Eldar on turn 4. Right, so shooting for the Eldar, not too bad. Scorpions firing here. They got a hit and killed the last Carbolite Warrior. The Warp Spiders firing down. Lawrence had to jink and just 1 hull point, passing a number of his jink saves there. And then a Venom destroyed here. That was fire from the Crimson Hunter hitting the rear armour. And then coming around, no damage done from the Wraith Knight. So we're going to go into assaults now for the Eldars. Not many units left for them on the table. We'll see if this Wraith Knight can make it into contact. Right, so you reckon 8 inches, not slowed by terrain, but still going to need a decent roll here to make it in. 9's decent enough, so the Wraith Knight's made it in. Lawrence is going to resolve some snap firing. And I think that is it. That's the only combat there. Yeah, then just here, we did a jetpack move here with the Warp Spiders. They've gone downstairs and now hiding behind the wall again. So handy little unit nipping in and out of cover, harassing the Dark Eldar line, but they're not going to be able to hide from everything. There's a group of warriors there that are going to be able to fire through the windows. But we'll go into this assault now. A little bit of Overwatch to do, and then the Wraith Knight is in. Right, Wraith Knight here has smashed into the Venom, put his foot through it. And then 2 of the exploded, 2 of the Carbolite Warriors died, and the rest have got out. They're not pinned, so they're free to move off next turn. But that's the end of the turn for the Eldar. They've done the best that they can. It's probably not going to be enough here as the Dark Eldar continue to oppress both of the objectives. But Dark Eldar turn 5 coming up next as we get towards the end of the game. Right, so movement for the Dark Eldar here on turn 5. Carbolite Warriors climbing in through the windows here to shoot at the Warp Spiders. Drakus sort of holding where he is, and then another Carbolite Warrior squad moving up behind the Scorpions. And that's the Venom just here as well, having dropped off its passengers. Both the Ravagers here turning and looking to shoot at the Wraith Knight here. And then the jet bikes closing in as well. Warriors sort of holding their ground where they are as well. Yeah, Fearless now, so that lone jet bike has rallied, and he could sneak in and shift over onto the objective this turn as well. There's just too many Dark Eldar units here for the Eldar to deal with, so it's a sad turn of events here. They'll be weeping, no doubt, and great poetry will be written about the downfall of Uriel and the plight of this Eldar army at the hands of their Dark Eldar kin. We'll go on to shooting phase now. We'll see what Lawrence can do with his units that remain. Right, so shooting phase for the Dark Eldar on turn 5. Scorpion's brought down here, only 1 left, and he's busted around, fallen back, which is a shame. They've had a tough game this time around with the Dark Eldar. Shooting here, the Carbolite Warriors tried to bring down the Warp Spiders. They flicker jumped again, 8 inches out of the building to here, and just landing in the open, so no dangerous terrain for them. And then Ravager fire coming through, poisoned weaponry coming through, blaster shots, 2 wounds dealt out on the Wraith Knight. Flat out move here as well, by the way. Lawrence has a troops choice on top of the objective, so setting himself up for a victory here. That is the end of the shooting phase now for the Dark Eldar. Okay, there are assaults to come. I'm going to roll up for some charges here. Right, merciless stuff here from the Dark Eldar. We thought he might let one of the Scorpions escape, but he's charged in there. Scorpions rallied, so he'll fight to the last, will probably die. And then Over here, the Wraith Knight has actually been charged by the Reavers. Lawrence wants to use those cluster caltrop rending attacks. We'll resolve both of these. Again, melees at either end of the table here. Right, so assault's done here. James is here with us, and he's just said to me, watch out for Draka. So thanks, James, for that early warning there. No problem, okay. The last Scorpion died. Draka's hopped, skip and jumped 5 inches back onto the objective there, sheathing his sword, or his lash whip, and then come around here. I wonder why Lawrence charged in, but tabletop tactics here. he's got fearless, and he's locked the Wraith Knight down. So we reckon Dark Eldar have a higher IQ than Eldar. Definitely, but it's those combat drugs that have done it. So that marks the end of the turn. We are looking at a Dark Eldar victory here. We'll go on to Eldar turn 5. We'll see what they can do. 1 Wraith Knight locked in combat. 1 Crimson Hunter flying across an empty battlefield as far as the Eldar are concerned, and then the jumping warp spiders that really have done very well in the game so far. But we'll see what they can do as the Dark Eldar sit on both objectives now. Right, so moving for the Eldar here. Wraith Knight locked in combat. Crimson Hunter slowing up here and is just going to let off some shots at this Venom. And the Warp Spiders jetpack move, jumping 6 inches on top to let off a volley here at Draka. Nothing personal. So we're going to shooting now for the Eldar on turn 5. Right, so Warp Spiders here will shoot at Draka.
I'm jinxing.
He's reroll here with the Exarch. He's fouled, and a miss here as well. We've got a potential of instant death here. 2 for wounds, yes. So, and one of those 6s actually is an AP 201. So there's an invuln required there, and the others are regular. Cool. Armour of Misery saves. Right, I'm going for 5 up cover here, just for all of those hits. So the instant death.
It's gone through. Has
gone through. He's going to balance a dice on that.
Oh.
Okay. It's a reroll.
6.
All right, fair enough. Draka's instant death there. So unit of the game, we usually leave it to the end of the game, but Warp Spiders, I mean, honestly, they've evaded shots at them. They've hopped about all over the table. Excellent unit. And Draka has fallen victim. A shot in the back. In the back. Isn't that really a summation of the Dark Eldar? Traitors to their Eldar kin. Then we've just battle focused along the top there. Warp Spiders really have been up and around, across, back through the window, down and around. They're all over the place. But now, the Crimson Hunter trying to finish off this vehicle here. Lawrence is going to jink, probably. He's going to jink. Right, so 4 shots. Just do all of the weapons here together. 3 hits.
Oh!
Strength 8. 2 glancing hits to save. So 1 hull point left.
They saved.
5 and a 6 there. Well done. The Venom survives the Eldar tire of this Dark Eldar cheese.
It's taking too long for Eldar to kill the enemy.
Right, so shooting done. We saw the Warp Spiders there bringing Draka down. And then the Crimson Hunter, no damage done on the Venom. So we go on to assaults now. None here, just the continuing fight with the Wraith Knight. Right, so combat's done. Wraith Knight there stomped the bikers there, but crucially, it's good tactics there from Lawrence. He's delayed them. He's delayed the Wraith Lord, a Wraith Knight here, and has prevented it from sitting on the objective, and then sneaked in there at the end of turn 5. So that's that combat resolved. Right, so we're going to finish the game off here. I don't think that the Eldar can do it. We do have the Wraith Knight, but there's just too many Dark Eldar units around. 2 Ravagers able to shoot there at full effect. There's a blaster here. There's a blaster that can fire. Troops choice sitting on the objective, and the jetbike Reaver there. So too much for the Eldar to deal with. And then round here, 3 Warp Spiders are not going to be able to finish off the last of the Dark Eldar units down here. They're both troops choices on top of that as well. Right, so we're going to finish the game there. Just calculating points here. Objective secured, even if the Warp Spiders were within 3 inches. It's objective secured there for those Carbonite Warriors, so 3 points. And then coming around here, they hold this objective as well, so 3 points, that's 6. Line breaker at the top of the table. For the Dark Eldar, slay the Warlord, first blood is 9 points. And then for the Eldar, line breaker here, and then slay the Warlord as well, picked up by the Warp Spiders. But that's it. In the end, points-wise, a pretty convincing win for the Dark Eldar here. The Eldar haven't been able to deal with all of those multiple units. It's a tactic that's paid off and worked well. It was a bad start from the Eldar, and it went from bad to worse. Well, the middle of the game, it was difficult to call, but the Dark Eldar rallied themselves, composed themselves really, and then dealt with the Eldar threats as they turned up. So that's the game there. Clash of the Channels has resulted in a win for Lawrence's Dark Eldar, so it's well done to them. And there will be a part 2 to this, a rematch between these two forces on this same table. My camera is going to be put down, and Lawrence will then take up his camera gear and will film the next episode, and that will be over on his channel, Tabletop Tactics. Head over to that channel, you'll see part 2, the rematch between these forces coming up. Just go over to Tabletop Tactics, subscribe, and then check out this encounter. The Eldar swear revenge. Uriel, after electrocuting the Fire Dragon Exarch, sweet words and poetry were exchanged between the two brethren before Uriel's ball eye, showing no distinction between friend and foe. Electrocuted the Fire Dragon Exarch and killed all around him, and then finally Uriel dying himself. Or did he die? Did the electricity in fact keep him alive? We'll have to see. Okay. But we'll have to find out. Will the Eldar have revenge? I hope they do, over on Lawrence's channel, to return the favour. The Eldar are wiser here after this defeat, but we'll see what happens. Check out part 2 coming up. But as for this battle here, the Eldar have lost. So we'll let the Eldar weep and lament for a few thousand years, and then they will fight against the Dark Eldar again. So thanks for watching. Great game. Check out part 2 on Tabletop Tactics, and tune in next time. Just talking about unit of the game here, Jiraka for the Dark Eldar, have to agree, they died ultimately, but that Armour of Misery and just sticking around long enough kept the Dark Eldar hopes alive in this corner of the table, and it paid off in the end. They secured their objective back again after that Eldar surprise attack, so well done to him. And then, I guess, standing right next to him, his nemesis, the Warp Spiders, the unit of the game goes to them. Hop, skipping and jumping around the table. Tough target to try and pin down. They took out a number of targets of their own and survived to the end as well. But they will disappear into the warp and live to fight another day. That's the unit of the game for both sides.